Send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
Yo, Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like, you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
I'm going crazy.
Crazy. What's up, King Son? Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Joe Rogan just broke it down real clear on why certain celebrities suddenly went mute when it was time to speak up about Diddy. And according to him, it's not about fear the way people think. It's straight up self-preservation. Too many powerful names are tangled in the same circles, and opening their mouths would mean putting their own secrets on blast. That's a risk most of them aren't built to take. And Joe isn't even the first one ringing that alarm.
I think there's so many powerful people that are on those lists. There's so many powerful people that went and partied. Air quotes, partied. And how many of them went to the Diddy parties? Have you been paying attention to the trial?
And you just sit there and go...
Yeah, well, not only that, how about the fact that this guy was running this for decades? He was doing this for decades to who knows how many people, and everybody was scared to talk about it because he'd have him killed. Yeah, it's really wild, man.
50 Cent has been throwing hints from day one, making it obvious he's one of the only ones bold enough to talk while everyone else ducks the smoke.
To ask questions like, were their decisions colored by certain things, and who got the benefit of the doubt, you know, in that courtroom?
Do you think that hip-hop culture was on trial as much as Sean Combs was?
Look, if I didn't say anything, you would interpret it as hip-hop is fine with his behaviors. There's no one else being vocal. So you would look at it and just say, because that mind your business, or let me not say nothing about nothing, or those things, it would allow the entire culture to register as if they're for that behavior.
So that silence? Yeah, it might be louder than any testimony we'll ever hear. Now, if you've been clocking the quiet buzz coming out of Hollywood, this shouldn't shock you at all. For months now, there's been steady talk, low, whispered, but non-stop, about unreleased footage allegedly floating around behind closed doors. Not harmless party clips either, but recordings tied to shady moves, illegal situations, and wild freak-offs that could wreck reputations overnight. Big names, real power, real money, and allegedly all roads lead back to one place, Diddy's world. This wasn't just music and champagne, no matter how polished it looked on the outside.
Someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in and discovered it and managed him and got custody of him and promised to look after him. And then he sent him to the devil.
Those people who was caught at Diddy party did not know that he had 250 tape recorders in that house. That's a big house. But he had 250 tape recorders.
That right here, and told y'all there was activity on the dark net. Videos were being distributed and were going to be sold for profit because the diddler needs the money. Did I not say that?
Said that.
Right here.
I was saying.
These were spaces where the rules got real blurry, lines vanished, and boundaries straight up disappeared. Cameras were allegedly rolling when nobody thought they were, and that's the craziest part. A lot of people caught up in this mess reportedly didn't even know they were being filmed at all. Word on the street says Diddy allegedly kept recordings of these wild moments as leverage, a way to keep people quiet, nervous, and moving how he wanted them to move. That's where Joe Rogan's take really hits differently. This wasn't about friendship, loyalty, or brotherhood. It was about control. Staying silent wasn't about protecting Diddy. It was about protecting themselves. Because speaking up could mean blowing up their own lives in public. And when you line that up with what 50 Cent, Jaguar Wright, and Gene Deal have all been hinting at for years, the picture gets real nasty, real fast.
You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes, but
yes.
The shopping thing is
Yes,
new.
there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood.
Hopefully the truth will prevail.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we got to just see how it plays out.
Yeah.
You know, I'm never going to stop being there for someone I consider to be a friend to me.
As you should.
I'm not going to turn my back. And it's like, I've been scrutinized just by being a friend. I guess someone never had a true friend before.
Hanging out with Diddy in his mansion in Miami, and Homeland Security rushes in while you're there.
While I'm there, dolo.
You're there by yourself.
Yeah. With the, you know, he has some employees there. And stuff. Yeah.
So suddenly there's red dots all over your shirt.
Yeah. I'm like, damn, this is crazy.
If Diddy really had footage of powerful figures doing things they never want the world to see, then testifying wouldn't be heroic. It'd be career-ending. Now look at who hasn't spoken up. That silence starts making a lot more sense. One name that keeps circling is Stevie J. He wasn't just around. He was bad boy to the core. He was in the rooms during the peak years when moves were being made. And when the raids happened, Stevie didn't run. He stood 10 toes down, jumped online, and defended Diddy, calling him family like nothing changed. That kind of loyalty had people looking sideways immediately. Because according to Lil Rod's lawsuit, Stevie J allegedly wasn't just hanging around in the background. The claims say he was active, hands-on, and allegedly helping line up escorts for those late-night situations, handling the messy details while Diddy stayed protected and insulated from the chaos. There are even whispers about leaked clips allegedly showing Stevie involved in explicit behavior at the same gatherings now under federal scrutiny. And yet, Stevie stays loud, confident, almost way too comfortable. That's why people keep asking, is that real confidence or fear wrapped up as loyalty? Then there's another name popping back up, Cuba Gooding Jr. Cuba and Diddy have been tight for years. Red carpets, yachts, luxury trips, smiling for cameras like nothing's wrong. But the energy shifted fast once Lil Rod's lawsuit dropped, because this time, Cuba's name wasn't just gossip, it showed up in legal paperwork.
Fully escape it though, like your name, for example, was mentioned in the Diddy case.
Which was the most ridiculous thing ever.
Because you barely know
This is the most ridiculous thing ever. But again, welcome to being a celebrity. Welcome to my world.
According to the complaint, Diddy allegedly introduced Lil Rod to Cuba during a yacht trip in the Virgin Islands. What followed, Rod claims, crossed serious lines, unwanted touching, repeated advances, and boundaries straight up ignored. Cuba denies everything, saying he woke up to a headline he never saw coming. But the public didn't rush to comfort him. Instead, people got suspicious, especially after Cuba publicly sent prayers in support to Diddy right before sentencing. That timing didn't sit right with a lot of folks at all. At a time when most people were backing away fast, Cuba Gooding Jr. leaned all the way in. And in the court of public opinion, that kind of timing never looks random. While others went silent or created distance, Cuba's public support raised serious eyebrows, because moments like that don't happen by accident. Then there's Usher, and his story might be one of the most unsettling ones of all. Usher lived with Diddy as a teenager. That part isn't rumor, it's documented.
Moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you
New
over
York
to
City.
something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
I was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle,
right?
And I saw it, and it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
For years, Usher has chosen his words carefully when talking about that time, only saying what he saw was curious, never going too deep. But things got heavier when he hinted he'd never allow his own kids to experience what he went through. Back then, those comments sounded vague. Now they sound like regret. And once you line that up with other allegations and bring Justin Bieber into the picture, the pattern gets hard to ignore. Justin was very young when he entered Diddy's orbit, and old footage shows Diddy bragging about spending 48 hours with him, saying it wasn't something that could be talked about. At the time, people brushed it off as industry talk. Today, that clip feels chilling, especially when you look at Justin's later struggles, his withdrawal from certain industry ties, and his emotional interviews about trust and betrayal. Even Justin's recent efforts to protect younger artists like Billie Eilish don't feel random anymore when you view it through this lens. And this isn't just internet chatter anymore.
I want to protect her, you know? I don't want her to go through anything I went through and wish that upon anybody. Yeah, if she ever needs me, I'm just a call.
Justin Bieber unfollowed his former manager, Scooter Braun, on Instagram, which sounds really minor.
It sounds sort of very high school.
But it is a big deal, especially for celebrities. And then the really surprising thing is after Justin did that, Scooter deactivated his entire Instagram account.
It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, you know, telling me they love me and, you know, just turn their back on you in a second.
Public voices like Candace Owens have openly questioned what really went down with Justin Bieber behind closed doors.
Justin Bieber must speak about this, you guys. He's apparently unfollowed all of his closest Hollywood managers, even the bodyguard, in a sign that some people are saying is more evidence of the Diddy fallout.
She suggested that his clean-cut image may have been covering up something way darker than fans ever imagined. Then Jaguar Wright took it even further. She straight up accused Usher of knowing exactly what was happening and choosing to stay quiet anyway. Heavy accusation, but it made people look at the silence differently. So when the Diddy trial heat turned up and both Usher and Justin kept everything locked down, people already knew something foul had gone on behind the scenes. That hush wasn't random, it felt strategic. Next name spinning into the spotlight is Bryshur Gray. Fans remember him as a breakout star, but his fall came fast and ugly. Arrests, public breakdowns, and a full career collapse. According to claims from Terrence Howard and Jaguar Wright, Bryshur was allegedly pulled into industry circles he wasn't ready for, spaces tied to Diddy, Will Smith, and other heavy hitters. Bryshur himself has reportedly accused industry figures of sabotage and psychological harm, saying he was chewed up and tossed once he stopped being profitable. And then there's Naomi Campbell. Her name pops up every time Diddy and Epstein get mentioned in the same breath. Private islands, elite guest lists, strict NDAs. The same eerie rumors that followed Epstein are now being whispered about Diddy's world. Some claim Naomi wasn't just attending events, but allegedly helping make introductions under the cover of modeling opportunities, career promises, and silence contracts. That connection has people asking real uncomfortable questions. And that's where people say access got traded for obedience. Naomi Campbell has denied any wrongdoing, even claiming she had no clue about Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. But fans are not buying that story at all.
The paper does manage to make it clear that you were not aware of Epstein activities. Did you know who he was?
Yes, I knew him. I was introduced to him on my 31st birthday by my ex-boyfriend Flavio. He was always front and center at Victoria's Secret shows.
Did you suspect what he was doing?
No. And what he's done is indefensible. And when I heard of what he'd done, it sickened me to my stomach, just like everybody else.
Him out so he'll feel too embarrassed to file his lawsuit against Diddy for what Will and Diddy did to him. With Jaden and Justin present that tape. Something. When you have a peanut butter jelly sandwich, if it's just peanut butter, it's just peanut butter. If it's just jelly, it's jelly. When you put it together, it becomes a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and the taste is undeniable.
Mm-hmm. You saying Diddy and Jay-Z is peanut butter jelly?
Peanut butter and jelly.
Online, people keep pointing to her body language, the way she dodges questions, and how she somehow walks away from every scandal untouched. One user said it straight up. Her body language says everything. Another added, she's anything but innocent. And once you mix in the long-running rumors that Naomi and Diddy dated back in the early 2000s, things get even murkier. Then there's footage of Diddy flying to London with young Miami just to surprise Naomi during her doctorate celebration. That doesn't feel like casual industry friendship. It feels way deeper than that. Now let's talk about Jay-Z. For years, Jay and Diddy moved like twin bosses. Same parties, same rooms, same power. Jaguar Wright once said they were inseparable, like peanut butter and jelly. But the moment Diddy caught serious legal heat, Jay went quiet. He created distance fast. And while Jay's already dodged one major legal scare, people are watching closely. Because if Diddy ever decides to talk, Jay's name won't stay out of the conversation forever. And finally, Meek Mill. And that's where things get even more complicated. The rumors around Meek Mill have been non-stop, loud, and impossible to ignore. People keep claiming he was one of Diddy's favorites, and Meek has pushed back hard. He's denied it publicly, posting online, making it clear he wants nothing to do with any Diddy talk at all.
We got a lawsuit, so the Lil Rod lawsuit we got.
Yeah, I read through the whole thing.
And it didn't mention Meek by name, but there was a footnote.
A Philly rapper who used to date
the name.
Nicki Minaj.
It was like a Jeopardy question.
Who is that? There could only be one person on the planet. Unless there's a Philly rapper that also dated Nicki that no one knows about, it's obviously Meek Mill.
He says, I'm gonna kill you academics, and what I'm gonna do is, he says, first things first, he says, someone send me academics address.
Right, he said, I'll die to shut you down.
Yeah, then he says, I'm going to die to do it.
What's up, yeah, y'all already know how we playing out. That's real life. Real life. Diddy gang, Meek Mill in real life. Don't ever disrespect me. You talk that Meek. Yeah, Meek.
But the chatter never really died down. At one point, Lil Rod hinted at a Philly rapper who once dated Nicki Minaj, and nobody had to guess who that was about. Meek's online reactions only made things louder. Long, emotional posts calling himself a king from the trenches, blaming fake pages and bots for trying to stain his name. He even went at commentators like DJ Academics, saying people need to stop pushing narratives about him. But the internet wasn't convinced. Folks said it didn't sound like confidence. It sounded like damage control. Then out of nowhere, clips started resurfacing. Meek laid back poolside with Diddy, looking way too comfortable for someone saying nothing was ever there. After that, alleged audio leaks popped up too, with energy people found hard to explain away. And if that recording is real, it suddenly explains everything. The silence, the panic, the pressure. Just like Joe Rogan said, people aren't quiet because they support Diddy. They're quiet because speaking could wreck their whole legacy. So now, the real question is this. Who's staying silent to protect themselves, and who's next to get exposed? Are these celebrities victims, accomplices, or stuck somewhere in between? And if Diddy ever decides to really talk, whose legacy collapses first? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't miss the next video on your screen, because this story only gets wilder from here.